I was saying, like, what's your number one goal coming out with this record, and like through the whole process?
The number one goal, just keep making music. Mm-hmm. That's all. It's nothing, the goal isn't any different than it's ever been. No. Make music, make good music, make ourselves happy, and hopefully keep some fans happy at the same time.
Sure. So the new record takes off with some heavy riffing, and you play acoustically, and some songs are pretty light. So is this diversity something that you take into account when you write the songs, or does that just come naturally?
I think it just kind of comes naturally. There's no... I mean, if we look at the album and it's incredibly lopsided, then we try and even it out a little bit. This one, we definitely wanted a heavier aspect to, a little more aggression, a little more aggressiveness to it. So, but at the end of the day, we can kind of do whatever we want to do, and it doesn't matter. We got lots of money. It's not obviously by now. No one can possibly think it's about the money. And then you got to go tour it. I think the most important thing is not losing money. And so, it's a. I was just saying outside to some of the staff members that I was just meeting, a couple of these young kids, and there they are just walking by right there. They said, I said, so you're in accounting? And yeah, we handle like billing and all that stuff. And I said, oh, okay. And I was talking about my job and their job, and they said, do you want to switch? And I said, fuck no. Why would I want to switch? If I would have wanted to be an accountant, I would have been an accountant. I wanted to play music. I didn't know I was going to, be in a band that got to this level. I had no idea that this was going to happen. But I'm sure glad it did. And I guess that would be another way to answer your question. To be able to keep doing this as long as we want to do it is the most important thing. And we've been saying that for years, because the last thing you want to do is quit because no one likes you anymore.
Sure. So when you guys put together a song, how much do you focus on the actual chorus of the song, and how much do you focus on the rest of the song?
That's funny because I make fun of us all the time for when I would go and write songs with anyone else. I would never go into that writing session without 10 song titles, a bunch of ideas for choruses. It'd never be like, hey, what do you think about this? One day I woke up and, it was kind of one of those things. That is literally the worst way to write a song. Like, you should never write a song that way. However, even knowing that, Nickelback always writes their songs like that. We always start off somewhere. We just start the movie, and we have no idea where the hell the movie's going. It's hilarious. Because I would never do that. If I went with a country artist, if I went with a pop artist, another rock artist, whatever it might be, I would never start a song the way we started that. That's a terrible way to songwrite. You should know, you would never start a movie as a screenwriter as two guys are walking through the forest. You would just never do. You'd have, okay, what's the movie about? What's the movie about? You would know. You'd know the big climactic moment, you'd know the ending, and then you literally work backwards. Professional songwriting is that. So as soon as you know your main theme and everything else that's going to go on in your chorus, then you use your verses to describe your choruses. Not us. Just like a bunch of idiots who just wandering through. Yeah. And we get to these points, and I laugh all the time because I'll be sitting there like, now what? Because I have no idea where we're supposed to be going. This is silly. Like, what are we doing?
Obviously, it's working.
Yeah, well, I mean, I look back at some of the songs we've written, songs I'm really proud of. And I'm like, how did we get there? I look at Photograph and Far Away, and I look at all these songs like, how in the hell did we wind up there after me saying, look at this photograph, every time I do it makes me laugh? How did I get there? You know, it's just, but once you just keep playing it over and over and over, you kind of go, oh, it's kind of nostalgic.
Yeah.
It's kind of got this or that or whatever, and you know, and we just make our way there. I don't know how we do it, but sometimes I just sit and scratch my head. It's mind-blowing.
That's what's called being an artist, I think.
Or something. Or really goddamn lucky. One of the two.
I'm going to come back to luck a little bit later, but for now, when going into the studio, is it sometimes hard to know that you have to kind of live up to people's expectation about coming out with a couple of hit songs on every album?
No, it's more us. We're the worst. Like, we put, and myself especially, I put all the pressure on myself, saying, is this as good as everything else we've put out before? Or is it different enough that I don't care? You know, is it just something I wanted? Does this feel good at the time? So if it feels good at the time, just do it. And we're not, you know, I don't know. I don't think that we're ever going to be, you know, that big radio success band anymore. I think now we need places like Spotify because that's the best place to get our music out there. And so before, when we would think about things, I mean, we'd always want to write things that meant something to us. Excuse me, that had some sort of, you know, that one of us always had a connection to. And we would write from there and go out. And then we'd always be like, okay, but where is this going to live? Like, if we're going to write this, is there a place that this can live, that we can get it out to our fans? So we'd be like, is this a rock song? Is it a pop song? What is it? What is it? Because whatever it is, we should probably make it that and know what the hell you're doing. Because when you're just sort of lost and off wandering around, and you might have a good idea or a good melody or something or some good lyrics, but when you don't have a direction, I think sometimes you just lose sight of it.
But still, it must be cool to have freedom to write whichever song you like.
It's great. But we had that before. I mean, we could write heavy, like damn near metal. And on the other end, we could write this very melodic love story. You know, whatever we want, or something that would make you cry, or something that would make you miss your friend that just died, or your mom or your dad, or make you think about the choices that you make on a daily basis, whether it's if everyone cared, or if it was when we stand together, or something like that, or something that just made you feel good and want to go out and drink with your buddies, like Burn It to the Ground or something like that. Like our music is, I can't think of another band that's as diverse as we are. I can't. And I don't think that's me talking from pride or ego. I mean, you're sitting across the table. You know what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you name me another band that could play?
I would say Stone Sour, right out of the blue.
Stone Sour?
Stone Sour is it's very diverse too.
Yeah, because they're trying to be Nickelback.
Maybe.
Corey Taylor has said some really nasty things about me before in the press, and he talks about how easy it is to write a hit song. Well, show me. Show me. Write one. I've yet to hear one. They're okay. They're not as good as Nickelback. They sound like Nickelback light. We were signed to the same label. They had to put on masks and jump around. How good can your music be if you've got to beat each other up on stage, throw up in your own masks every night? I mean, music shouldn't come with a gimmick. Music should just be music. None of my favorite music comes with a gimmick. And he got tired of sitting behind the mask. He wanted people to know what he looks like. So he started Stone Sour.
Got your point. So, about the record, do you think that Feed the Machine is a record that has like instant hit material, or is the record that has to like grow a little bit into people's hearts to eventually find its greatness?
I don't know. we released a song that I definitely wouldn't use the H word on, but the fans loved it. You know, the fans received it very well, and which I love. You know, that's always great. But we got to the point where we're just like, we don't care. You know, it's like now with especially with places like Spotify. You know, any place where you can stream music. We don't need radio like we used to need radio. Now you just put it out there, and your fans can enjoy whatever they want to enjoy. And it was less about being worried that something, well, this was a little too long, and they're not going to play it on the radio if it's too long, so we got to cut out the guitar solo or whatever the hell it is. That is annoying as hell. You know, when you send a song over to Germany or something, it's like, no, can't be longer than 3.5 minutes or whatever it is. So you're just like, you're trying to cut out sections of your music so you can get it out there somehow to your fans. That sucks.
Yeah, totally.
You know? Queen never would have done that with Bohemian Rhapsody?
Nope, absolutely not. So